Hello and welcome to the first live edition of the EMTV preview show. Dave Hartley here with Graham Munsey. Looking forward to this, Graham.
Yeah, very much so, Dave. We're back. Speedway's back. Springtime's here. There's Easter eggs this week. There's a local derby. We've got a star attraction coming up on the show. What more could anyone ask for?
Yeah, exactly. So, our first time we've gone live, so hopefully we'll get through all technical. Graham, we won't have anything like that. And we'll,
so that was it. You're live on Channel 4. Don't say.
Yeah, that's it.
I won't finish that sentence.
I can see there's people online already. We've got Scott Summerville wishing us good luck for the Monarchs in 2023. So, yeah. And get your questions in for Lasse, our guest for the evening. And I think without further ado, we should just get him on, Graham, eh?
Sounds good. No one's here to listen to us, Dave.
Exactly. Hey, Lasse, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. Oh, welcome to the show. It's our first live experience here, so hopefully it's all good for you as it is for us.
Yeah, it's working well till now, so let's hope so.
And of course, we'll look forward to
obviously. Oh, sorry, Dave, on you go.
First time of the season. Hey, I'm just going to say we're looking forward to our first big meeting of the season, our first competitive match of the season, Glasgow on Friday night. I bet you can't wait to get out on track.
Yeah, so what you said, I'm itching to get out of the track, to say the least. Been a long wait, but yeah, here we are. Just a couple of days left, so big weekend ahead.
Yeah, and obviously, Lasse, year 2, that must give you a bit more comfort. You know, most places you have been before, most of the riders you have ridden against before, most of the conditions you've met before, that will give you that bit more comfort that there's not going to be as much unknown going into 2023.
Yeah, definitely. Always helped having had a year in British Speedway to meet all the people and all the different tracks, and yeah, I'm hopefully I can convert that to the track this season to better my speedway as well. So hopefully it shows.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've got starting to build up a bit of an audience here. We've got as well Stevie Lumsden. Stevie Lumsden says hello, evening, gentlemen. David Anderson as well, evening, guys. And obviously we can rely on Chris Black to get in there with a good evening, gents, and let's get it lit. But it's not just Lasse we're going tonight, is it? Well, before I pass back to you, Graham, I'm just going to say for anyone else that's want to get involved, get yourself on YouTube, get a comment in there. If you've got a question for Lasse or a prediction for Friday night, we'd love to hear that, and we'll get you on if we can.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it, didn't we, on social media, as Stephen Lumsden said, we're social influencers now. Social media influencers, Dave, that's us. So like, subscribe, and get those notifications so you know we'll be going live. The plan is most Tuesdays, there'll be the odd Wednesday, just depending on Monarch race schedule, and then every Friday night after the meeting. Tonight, we've got Lasse on. We'll also, as we always like to do, we like to hear from the other side. So I spoke to Cammy Brown a little bit earlier in the week, so we'll hear from him. And we want this to be an interactive show. We want to open up some new features. So our first for a new feature, which I don't think we actually decided on a title yet, but we've got a race, last year's race of the season from Josh Pickering against Redcar, but in a twist, rather than it being a blast for the past, and I was listening to the race commentary, we're actually going to hear Josh's thoughts on the race as he talks us through how it went. And that's something we'll be looking to do more as the season goes on. But if there's anything you want to see from us, any features you'd like to fill that slot every Tuesday night, Wednesday night, whenever we go live, just let us know and we'll be delighted to do that. But Lasse, going back to yourself, we've touched on it, I'll say. It's a big start to the season. The British Speedway Network Shield Trophy. What's the competition called, Dave? There's my first blip of the season.
DSN series.
That's the word I was looking for. DSN series we start off with. Obviously, every match you want to win, but does that take a lot of a pressure off that it's not a league match, or is it just another match that's there to be won? It's Glasgow that's in town and the pressure's on straight away.
No, we want to win every match, really. I don't personally don't think about if it's league or not, especially when it's Glasgow. It's standing by the side of you. You want to win. That's as easy as it is.
We've started to have some questions from the audience, so we might as well jump straight to that. So we've got one from George K here, which says, Lasse, do you ever get the chance to check out the EMTV playback footage of the matches you're racing on, and does it help you work out strategies for future racing?
Yeah, I watch basically all of the matches, especially at home, where we can find stream. I have access to the EMTV, as you say, and I watch my own races and the other boys' races at least once after every meeting. So yeah, it just helped to see what I did wrong, what I did right, and what I could do better for the next time, really, and what the other boys doing.
No, exactly. That's I guess it's another good plug for us there for EMTV on that YouTube channel and on the EMTV section of the Monarchs website. You can get lots and lots of footage of old meetings. Of course, we've got the EMTV Plus, where you can get lots of old meetings too for the guys. But yeah, no, that's really good that you're able to take advantage of that as well, Lasse.
Yeah, hopefully. I try to. What I said to do better what I can see I do wrong, and to keep on doing the stuff I see I do right.
Got another question then from John 2098. Hi Lasse, how does the UK tracks compare to the tracks in Sweden and Norway? And do you prefer one or the other?
It's a kind of a difference. I've not raced much in Norway lately, the last years. So, but compared to Sweden, the tracks in Sweden are bigger. They're more like hard and concrete, and yeah, they're more like speedy tracks. But to be fair, I like the UK. I prefer the UK actually, because I feel like you have to have some skills on a speedway bike to actually come out of a meeting with the points, and yeah, makes it all a bit more exciting, really.
Sounds good, Lasse. Is that it for the questions from the audience as we stand so far?
I'll give you an opportunity there, Graham, but we had the first awkward silence of the season. We'll try to fill that in. We've got just a message.
No, sorry, later.
No, the only one wanted to ask the question.
This is Alex asking if we wanted some coffee.
Scott Edwards saying, evening guys, great to see us live. And he's got a question, which is, have you set any goals for the 2023 season, Lasse?
Yeah, of course I want to do, the goal is to do, we want to win every match. That's a goal. Personally, I want to better my average, to better what I did last year, to go to tracks especially the tracks where I didn't really find the right way to ride, to go there and do better, and to prove myself that I'm worthy of being in this in British Speedway, and I want to take a step further and get in the big points.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. You raced at that number 2 all season last year, and I mean, you end up your average just less than 4. But I'm pretty confident if you hadn't had those injuries and missed those meetings that you would have achieved over 4 this year. And I'm guessing that's one of the things you want to kick on. That'll be one of your goals, to get that average up and push yourself higher in the team.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I'm able to do it, and I feel good to start the season now. And I feel like we can all, not just me, I feel like all the team can push on from what the averages are, and I think we can surprise a few people, and that's what we're planning to do.
Yeah, just, we mentioned obviously second year, so a few of the guys. It's 5 of last year's team coming back, and then obviously Craig Cook and Kyle Bickley, the 2 probably new guys for you. But we saw at I was going to call it press and practice. It just became press day last Friday, unfortunately, because of the weather.
Yeah.
But it looks like there's a good team spirit there already. I mean, I can't remember. It got pretty competitive at the Bow and at Deer Park after. I don't know if you were involved in that. I know Josh, as captain, decided to wait till the last frame and then pipped Adam Roynan by 1 pin take the victory. So I can't remember if you were on that lane or the other one, but it looks like the guys are all going to get on well again this year.
Yeah, definitely. Us 5 guys that were here last year obviously know each other very good, and we have a good bond between us. And it looks like Craig and Kyle Bickley as well is coming well into the team. I didn't know him from before, but some of the other boys did, and yeah, we're all looking to be a good bunch of guys, and I think we can benefit from that coming into the season, that we all get on very well. And it's an easy group to come into. We're all pretty easygoing, and I think that's what we're planning to keep on doing.
Got a question from Chris Black, which is, we start with them from the west, the Glasgow Tigers, of course, our visitors on Friday night. Now, I guess we've got to remind ourselves, Graham, we still need to push tickets, etc. So get yourself on that Monarchs website for the tickets. So Chris's question is, does your and the team's mentality change for these meetings, or is it just business as usual for you guys?
I'd say a little bit of both. It's Glasgow. You're gonna win. You can hear the fans better in these meetings, both home and away. You can hear the fans better than in the other meetings. So you just know that it's something big is going on, and yeah, that maybe make it a bit more tense. But when you're standing at the tapes, you don't really care about who's beside you, to be normal. But the whole meeting, and if you see the whole meeting on the ones, you can feel that's a bit more tense there. It's Glasgow, and you want to win against Glasgow, and I think Chris Black knows that as well.
Yeah, you mentioned that there, Lasse, and of course, we're starting the season big. Starting the season against Glasgow. It's a bank holiday weekend. I think the sun's due to shine. The forecast I looked at, I'll touch some wood in a minute after that. It's Easter weekend, so there's free Easter eggs for the kids, and there's some bonus speedway as well. There's the Northern Junior League after, and it's the West Lothian Wildcats against the Ashfield Giants, and that'll be the first time everyone will get to see Dale Wood out on the Armadale track. So that'll be a bit of interest for people to stay back. We always like to do a bit of plugging on here, as Dave says. So tickets are available now. edinburghmonarchs.co.uk is your link for that. If for any reason you can't make it along, then myself and Mike Hunter will be positioned up in the commentary box to provide you with a live stream. Again, edinburghmonarchs.co.uk, then click on the EMTV link to get your details and sign up for that. And Dave, we've touched on our side. It's the old saying goes, it takes 2 to tango. You need a visiting team to make a speedway match, and this week it's Glasgow. And I caught up with Glasgow team manager Cammy Brown and got him to give me the rundown of his 1-7 this year earlier in the week.
That time of year again, speedway season's back, and while it's no longer a spring trophy as it maybe was back in the day, it's opening fixtures, it's derby time, and nobody ever needs built up for a derby, but when it's the first match of the season, it just adds that wee something extra, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, to be honest, Graham, I smiled when I saw the fixtures come out in the first match away at Armadale, which it's always, people tend to think that Glasgow are used to going to there. It's always a really, really difficult fixture for us. And, although it's been, we've been reasonably successful the last few years, we don't take anything for granted. Edinburgh always have super strong teams. And in my mind, nothing's changed this coming season. Edinburgh's team looks, especially at home, extremely strong, and it'll be formidable to get a result against them. We're under no illusions on that one.
Yeah. And then looking at your own team, obviously the return of Chris Harris, and probably somebody that I think he's admitted, and most Glasgow fans would say he's got a bit of unfinished business. It didn't quite go as everyone hoped the last time. So
it didn't. It didn't in 2018. Yeah, and I've always been close to Chris, and we've talked about it a couple of times about him coming back, and obviously when you've got Craig Cook there on such a high average, it's difficult to have almost 2 10-point riders in the same team. It's virtually impossible to build a team. So that it could never happen for the last few years as well. Because Craig did such a remarkable job for us. We could never kind of get. I'd love to have put the two of them together, to be honest. But the way things work out in Speedway, he's back now, and I'm really looking forward to working with him again. He's a smashing chap to work with, and as it showed last season at Berwick. He might be 40 years old, but he's far from done as a speedway rider. He's still got as long as he wants. As long as he wants to ride, he'll be a competitive rider. I mean, He's riding at Berwick, which isn't probably at the moment, or last season wasn't the best racing track for passing, and he was, he comes away from the season with a 9-point average, which is remarkable when he's not the world's best gaiter, as we all know. So I think he was one of the few people at Berwick that consistently passed people. Some of the passes he had were amazing. So hopefully he can bring some of that to Ashfield, and the fans have been for a treat, I'm sure.
Yep, and then elsewhere, so the kind of in the starting averages anyway, the two that will be expected to put the big back up, two sort of hot prospects, and Tom and Ben. And, we've seen both hit the ground running. Tom Brennan was third, and the Ben Fund meeting at Kings Lynn, Ben Bassel put a double figure score in for Peterborough at home. So another two young guys that are only going one way and look ready to go.
Well, I hope, I'm not going to put too much pressure on Ben. He went from 5 last year to 8.52, which was absolutely remarkable. I mean, 3.52 on your average is a big add. If he does, if he does a little bit more or round about the same, I'd actually be quite happy with that. If you've got a genuine 8 or 9 point rider, they're a proper heat leader. I think Tom's the one that's going to, the average wise, I think will improve the most. I think he starts on 6.71 and he's miles better than that. He's got tons of experience now. He's captain. I'm keeping him captain this year, which surprised a few people, but he did the job very well latterly at the end of last season, and he deserves another chance. And I'm really looking forward to working with Tom, Ben, and Chris. I think it's a good heat leader trio, and hopefully it will get us where we want to be.
Yep, and then the rest, it's guys sitting on the middle order that are known. Klaus and Marson both coming back in, and then obviously the Ace Piper, they're known for a lot. Everyone's seen he had an absolute skyrocket this season in the National Development League last year. But one thing I'd say with that team is I kind of hope your track guys have put some extra room around the outside, because if you've got Compton, Novak, Basso, Harris, that outside line's going to be the place to be at Ashfield this year.
Tell me about it. I think the fans are going to be entertained. That's a certainty, and that's the team I wanted to put together to be entertaining. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on Ace. He's 16 years old. He's had a great season last season, but it's a much, as we all know, a much more difficult level now. Very hard, against hard seasoned pros. So he's got loads of talent, but we're not going to put any pressure on him. His dad's going to be working with him, which is great. Lee's a different proposition. Lee's desperate to get started, and I think Lee will surprise a few people. He's got some good equipment this season, and he's absolutely 101% up for the challenge. So I'm looking forward to working with him. Marson again is another one, a bit like Tom. Marson, I think, will gain quite a lot in his average, because he's far better than a 5. He's still on an assessed 5, to be fair. And Klaus coming back, I think, people expect Klaus to come back like he finished in 2019, and that's very unfair, because he was absolutely flying at the end of 2019, and I'm not going to put that kind of pressure on him. I want Klaus to come in and do a really good second string job, and if try and push for a heat leader slot if he can. And I think he's well capable of doing that. And he's a guy I love working with. Klaus and I are very close, and I've got a really team of 7 boys that I'm going to enjoy working with. They're all good characters at the boot camp. They all got on very well. And really, really looking forward to the season starting.
So Cammy Brown there, confident as always, probably a little bit of expectation there, but a lot of chat about keeping the pressure off his team. He's obviously trying a different approach there. I mean, we've got them home and away this weekend. Lasse at Ashfield, I don't know how often you got there last year, but is that a track you liked?
Yes and no. I didn't score as many points as I wanted there, but I think I was there twice last year, and I felt the second time I came there I was much more competitive than the first one. So I'm looking to build on that now for Sunday, hopefully. So yeah, it's a good, big, fun track to ride, but everyone's pretty fast there, so you got to be up for it.
Yeah, obviously the 2 big matches of the weekend all start 7:30 tapes up on Friday night. The Glasgow Tigers, the visitors, Dave, and I guess we'll be looking for a little bit of action like last year's race of the season. It was Josh Pickering in Heat 13 against Redcar, and we'll hear Josh's thoughts on that heat now.
Well, for me, coming into this race here, Heat 13, it's the toughest race of the night, because you're up against the 1 and 5 of the opposition team. Gate 3 at this stage of the meeting, it's a hit and miss. But in this moment in time, it wasn't very good this day. I was obviously just trying to find myself the best bit of grip and to give myself the best chance. But yeah, going into this race, Louis Kerr on the outside, I was focused on the start first, and then as we've come off the gate here, you see I spin up just a little bit. I don't drive to the corner how I want to. Now it's a chasing game. So Sam's done his bit. He's away in front and he's just holding the inside, and he probably knows where I'm going to be. So I'm just continuing now to try and build up a bit of speed on the outside. And I've managed to get past Jake here and set off after Louis. Louis coming off the corner and sort of blocking that outside run, and his rooster stopping me quite a bit. But he's going a bit wide, but not wide enough, and that's where I was, managed to generate a bit of speed here. And he's sort of following Sam, which is a good thing for me, and it's given me a lot of track to play with. So my plan in this aspect is just to continue building up speed, and hopefully he don't notice me, and then I'll manage to sneak around him here, I believe, and then, or if not, it must be the next. Oh no, here it is here. Yep. So I've managed to sneak past there, and Sam can continue holding the inside line. I can do my thing around the fence, and then a 5-1.
Tremendous race there from Josh, and it's good to hear his thoughts. I don't know, sometimes he just closes his eyes and goes for it, but yeah, he's a fantastic rider around the outside there. Is that a line you'd fancy this riding yourself, Lasse?
Yeah, you see, Josh is fast there, so you got to try. Sometimes go to the outside and just go for it. So you might know a few tricks.
That's it. I think he certainly does. And hopefully that's the kind of action we'll see this Friday and ongoing every Friday, Dave. I've said it a few times, I'll reiterate, edinburghmonarchs.co.uk. That's your place for tickets. And then that EMTV link on edinburghmonarchs.co.uk again. If you can't make it along, it's where you'll see your link to sign up for the stream. 7:30 tapes up. It's Easter weekend. There's Easter eggs. There's Academy racing afterwards. Northern Junior League racing afterwards. So some bonus. And Dave, I guess, just before we finish up, is there any final messages from anyone?
Yeah, we've got a few actually. I've been watching that. A few come in. A few other questions as well. Scott Somerville, what are your career goals?
My career goals is really just taking it year by year. Now I want to for sure ride in some more leagues, the top league in Britain, and take it from there. And want to end up. Of course, you want to end up in the GPs, but yeah, I'm taking it year by year, slowly, steadily. I'm still young, like in speedway age, so that's my goals right now. Yeah,
definitely. Jolly Boy John, who asked that question earlier, says thank you for answering and good luck for the season. Oh, we've got a message here from our sponsor, Colin Frame of Stella. Massive thank you to Stella for all the backing they give to the Monarchs. And Colin, well, I think his question's more from his son than from him. He says, welcome back and looking forward to this year. And he's got to ask Lasse from his son if he knows how to do the griddy when you win on Friday.
I don't know what a griddy is, but tell his son to come show me and I'll do it.
Yeah, I think that's a dance. I've seen it in the NFL when you score a touchdown. I won't do it on camera. I won't put anyone through that, but Lasse, go on YouTube and you have that ready for after you win Heat 1 on Friday night.
Yeah,Ve got the same blank expression as you, Lasse. And however, as long as you've got a winning celebration, I don't care. Wheelies, anything, just so all good. And final question we've got in the comments, which is from Scott Gilwood. What track do you like best in the UK outside of Armadale? Letting you off the hook there with that.
I've got to say Redcar. Redcar's a track that I really liked last year. I had a few good meetings there. It's a track that suited me, I think. Fast track. We would go to the outside, and it's a fun track to ride. But it's a bit like Glasgow. Everyone's fast there, so you got to be up for it. But yeah, I just had a few good experiences there that made me feel like Redcar's the best one outside of Armadale, of course.
well saved at the end there, Lasse. So I think, Dave, if that's us on the comments, we'll say thanks everyone for sending in their questions, comments. As we've said, This isn't our show, this is your show. So please leave comments on YouTube, leave comments under the Facebook page, letting us know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want to see more of. This will evolve as we go through. You know, I've got a wee bit more equipment to pick up this week to make it look like I'm not sitting here being held hostage, and we'll get that worked on as we go on week by week. But as I say, just interact with us. We're here for you guys. We'll be back on Friday with the focus. But one last plug, 7:30 Friday night. It's the BSN series. It's the Stellar Monarchs. It's the Glasgow Tigers. EdinburghMonarchs.co.uk for your tickets. EMTV link on there for your stream. Lasse, thank you very much for taking the time to join us. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope we've not put you off coming back on later in the season.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, looking forward to Friday. Can't wait to see you racing again on Friday night, Armadale. And yeah, look forward to get some racing. Yeah.
Can't wait. I know you're buzzing, Dave. I know I'm buzzing. I know the team's buzzing. Everyone's ready to go. We'll see you Friday. Thanks very much for joining us.
See ya.